Hey guys, welcome back. Let's do another video. This one might be a little long. Uh, so, I've recently had a few people ask me on the internet and in person, you know, oh, what should I wear here? How much of this should I wear? With blah, 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 And, the only rule to fragrances is there's no rules. There really isn't any rules. There's suggestions, there's guidelines, but nothing is set in stone. Every fragrance is different. How you apply it, when you wear it, it's all up to you. You can do whatever you want. Nobody's going to arrest you. It's not a rule. It's not like drinking and driving, or anything. Owning certain firearms, possessing certain weapons here in Canada. There's no rules or regulations to these things like that. But there are some good guidelines. Wrote a few things down I want to talk about, so if I'm looking down, reading, that's why. The first one, like I said, is how much to apply, where to apply, when to apply, seasons, occasions. These are all based on the fragrances, like I said. But there's no, how much to apply. It's going to depend on the type of fragrance it is. If you're wearing a heavy, strong fragrance like a Sauvage Elixir, well, you want to go a little light on the sprays. If you're wearing a light fragrance like some fresh aquatic or citrus fragrance, you might want to go a little heavy on the sprays. There's really no rule to that. It's kind of, the rule of thumb is 3 to 4, but 3 to 4 sprays of Sauvage Elixir is too much. 3 or 4 sprays of, I don't know, let's say a 4711, not near enough. So you see, there's no rules, Ray. It really depends on the fragrance, guys. Where to apply said fragrances? Again, that's completely up to you. Where do you want to spray? I like to spray the neck and chest area and the crinks of the elbow, the shirt. Some people don't like putting it on their clothes. Some people only put it on their clothes. Hey, whatever you like to do. There's no rules. Again, just do what you want to do with it. So, yeah, when to apply? You can apply. You see a lot in the fragrance community of people. This is a summer fragrance. This is a winter fragrance. And well, the concept is understandable by most people. Most people only have 1 or 2 fragrances, and they're going to wear them year round. I know people that have worn Sauvage Elixir in the middle of the summer. I've known people that have worn Chrome in the middle of the winter. Just learn to adjust your sprays. That's all you got to do, guys. Fresh citrus aquatic summer frag in the winter, you go right ahead. It's your choice. You can do what you want. Deep, dark, sweet, spicy, warm winter fragrance in the summer, again, go ahead. Adjust the sprays. Or don't. You don't have to. You can be the cologne guy if you want. And I mean that in the bad way, the negative way, not the nice way. Because too much of something, too much of a good thing could be a bad thing. You're probably going to get more compliments, more positive attention if your fragrance isn't, not probably, you are. If your fragrance isn't overpowering, you walk into a room and all people, you think you may smell good, but at the same time, you're smelling bad because it's way too much. So just learn to adjust them sprays, guys. That's all. When I say no rules, that's for general everyday wear. Not for places that have their own rules, which is something I see a lot of people. I don't know if they think they sound cool or bad boyish, but breaking the rules. Hospitals, for example, don't have the rules. Don't wear fragrance in the hospital. It's different if you're out and you have an emergency. car accident or something. You say, oh, don't take me to the hospital till I shower, even though I'm bleeding out my ears. No, that's fine. But I mean, if you're just going up to visit somebody, you're going up for a checkup to the doctor's office, hospital, kind of the same thing. Don't put on a fragrance. Soap and water, all you need, guys. They have rules for a reason. There are people in those places, especially hospitals and doctor's offices, that have issues with strong fragrances. Not necessarily allergies, but they just might have asthma, bad colds, things that set them off. So just don't wear one. It's that simple. Schools, work environments, gyms, they all have their own rules. Find out what the rules are. Most places don't. I don't know if it's an outright ban on fragrances. I think schools are, but most places frown upon them. And really, guys, if you're going to the gym, I can understand an after the gym fragrance. You jump in the shower at the gym, shower up, whatever, put on a few sprays or something nice and light. Go do your thing, go home. But at the gym, working out, pumping, whatever you're doing, running, pumping, cardio, weights, whatever you're doing, you don't need to wear fragrance. It's the same thing with going to the beach. I find that to be the most, well, the two I find the most ridiculous is wearing it at the hospital. There's no reason to wear one at the hospital. But wearing something to the beach, you totally ruining the whole experience of the beach for yourself and people around you. People want to go to the beach. They want to smell the beach, the water. If you're lucky enough to be near the ocean, the salt water, the cool breeze in the air, the greens and the flowers and the, people barbecuing and just, and then if you get into the water, I don't know, I'm pretty sure the ocean, at least around here, washes off your whole fragrance as soon as you get in the water. So you just wasted the damn thing. So just don't get the beach at all. The one I don't do, but I understand the most is people who spray before they go to bed. Because fragrances, olfactory, can be relaxing. So it might help you sleep. Maybe it's a bit of a crutch, a mental crutch you have. That's cool. We all have them. So I do get that. I don't do it myself. I think it's a late night, actually, believe it or not. But I think it's a bit of a waste of a fragrance to put on before you go to bed. But hey, if it helps you relax, fall asleep, go for it. But yeah, those just hospitals and beaches and schools and things, just I wouldn't even bother, honestly. Work's a little different. Your work environment, like my work environment, allows fragrances. I do wear them, but I tend to go a little light on them because of the dogs. The dogs can be very sensitive, obviously, to smells. So most of the time they don't care though. They're too busy smelling each other's asses and playing and rolling around. They really care. But yeah. There's only two things I'd say, well, not rules, are strongly, very strongly suggested you don't wear fragrances to. A job interview. I mean, that makes perfect sense. A job interview. You never know in a job interview whether or not the person interviewing you either has reactions to fragrances, doesn't like fragrances. There's been a few times at work, I've never not hired anybody because of it when I was doing hire and firing at my old place. But there's been times I've had to tell people in an interview, you have a job. I just have to ask you not to wear that much perfume, that much cologne. There's been times where I've had to take people who've worked there for a long time and bring them into the office and be like, listen, I'm a cologne guy, I get it, but you can't wear that much fragrance at work. Spray or two's fine, no problem, but you know, there's even the worst conversation though. Is this kind of bring me to a tangent, so kind of not about this, but I've had to have the conversation a couple times with people who, let's just say, let their natural essence get a little out of hand. That's an embarrassing conversation to have for an adult, to tell another adult, take a bath, like before you come to work, take a shower. And it's a sticky situation too, because I've got to realize, like I said, there's people out there that are break out in rashes and stuff, and from fragrance, deodorants, and colognes, aftershaves, perfumes, soaps. But like I tell them, if that's the case, that's fine. But you still have to shower, use your fragrance-free soaps and your fragrance-free deodorants. You still have to shower and wear those things. It's better than nothing. It's not as good as fragrance soaps, but it's better than nothing. So that's just a little tangent. I've had that conversation a couple times. My goodness. Shouldn't have to tell an adult to take a shower. Just shouldn't. But I've had to do it. Funerals is another place. I don't think you should be wearing fragrances if you are a very light amount. That you don't want the emphasis to be. You can say the same for weddings, but weddings are more of a celebration, so I'm fine with that. But funerals, you don't want the emphasis to be on you. You don't want to take anything away from, the grieving loved ones. And they're not in the right mind either at that point. A lot of people aren't. They might just say something to you, and you may have to leave. So job interviews, funerals, I wouldn't. I just don't. Or if you're going to wear anything in them, make sure it's light, proper amount, a light amount. Always go too little if you're not sure. Just think, geez, I'm gonna put 1 or 2 sprays of this on. It's a light citrus fragrance. It's not really. Just go with that, because again, as I've said, you don't want to be the cologne guy. You don't want to draw attention to yourselves in them situations. It's okay not to wear anything in them situations. Another suggestion I would have, which is actually the opposite of what I just said, it's over applying, wearing something way too much, is if you're, you don't have to be young, but usually it's younger people, going to a dance bar, a club, a nightclub, anything like that, where there's a lot of, cigarette smoke and cigar smoke and weed smoke and alcohol and sweat, and just put on something strong and put on something loud if you want to cut through all that. That's the one exception where I say go a little trigger happy, because you want to stand out. If you're at a club or bar, you're trying to find a lady to eventually marry, I don't know, or find a lady just to have a good night with. Or ladies, you want to find a guy to get married, or depending on your orientation, you want to find a guy to be with, and you're a guy, girl, I don't care. It's not what I'm here for. I'm here to tell you, in those situations. Now, that doesn't include places like pubs and restaurants and, things like that, where people generally sit and eat and talk and have a few drinks. I'm talking nightclubs, dance clubs. Boom, 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 boom. You have to dance and sweat. You want to make you sweat, baby? Yeah. Those places I would recommend wearing something strong and loud and a lot of it. You want to cut through all the ambient smells in the room. And there's there's a lot, and there's people that stink too. I forget about that. There's a lot of BO in them places. You don't want to be that person though. So load up on the deodorant and the cologne. Put your shirt on. Go out dancing. Have a few drinks. Have a smoke. Whatever you do. Have a good buff. You know, if you want. I'm not saying I just but I'm just saying. You know, go have a good time. Smell good. Maybe attract whoever you want to attract, and have a good time with it, guys. So yeah, at the end of the day, guys, what I want to say is there's no rules. Lots of suggestions. I know people have messaged me, for God's sakes. Is this good for the summer? Is this good for the winter? Is this good for... All I can tell you is people say this is a summer scent, but you can wear it whenever you want. And that's going to be my answer to any question like that. Wear what you want, when you want, how you want. Just realize you run the risk of not getting the right kind of attention that you're looking for. Very few people want to be the cologne guy. I know I've seen fights break out in gyms, at school. I've seen people get their asses kicked because I've actually seen people get kicked out of my gym. That's a thing. So be careful with it. I've seen people get kicked out of my gym. I've seen people be refused at the hospital, not going to visit somebody. They were told, no, you have to, you know, we've got people on that, especially if you're going to like the floor with the oxygen and stuff where people can't breathe. You've got 10 sprays of Sauvage Elixir on. Yeah. See you later. So yeah, guys, just, I guess what I'm saying is be aware of where you're going to be, your surroundings, what the temperature is, what works well on you. That's pretty much it as far as rules go. There are no rules, just suggestions and guidelines. It's up to you to decide. Because again, I'm going along, I know, I'm sorry, but I can... Sauvage Elixir, 2 sprays of Sauvage Elixir in the middle of the winter is enough for me, works off my skin. Maybe 2 is way too much for you. Maybe you need half a spray, you know, or maybe you need 4 sprays. Everybody's skin, everybody's pH level, everything, it's all different. So it's up to you to do a little experimenting, do it around the house, or when you're with a couple friends that, you know, don't do it. Don't grab Sauvage Elixir and put 6 sprays on and then go out right away. Try it at your house first. Try it on a couple friends first. See how it works for you. You'll pick it up really quick. You'll pick up what you should be wearing, how much of it you should be wearing, and when you should be wearing it. All by it come pretty natural, believe it or not. The nose and smell is a pretty natural thing. So, all right, guys, that's it. Tell me what you think. Any rules, regulations, or suggestions, guidelines I missed? I think I got most of the big ones here. I mean, maybe you could touch on so much as a guideline, but, you know, you don't have to spend absurd amount of money on a fragrance to get a nice fragrance, you know, especially with the clones out there nowadays. Oh, my God. Geez, the mall cologne is still gorgeous. $25. Anyway, all right, guys. Peace, love, be good to each other, and be good to yourselves.